Hello, I'm Ivy. Welcome to the Black Teacup. This is a small space we keep each week where we sit together for a while and speak about things that matter. Not loudly, not dramatically, just honestly. The world moves fast and it rarely leaves room for quiet reflection. But here, we try to slow things down long enough to think about the things people carry. Tonight, I wanted to speak to a certain group of people. Not everyone will understand this conversation, but if you do, you'll know it almost immediately. This is for the veterans. For the men and women who served, who deployed, who walked through places most people will only ever see on a news broadcast or a documentary years later. Some of you served in Iraq. Some of you served in Afghanistan. Some of you served in places that will never make headlines. But the experience, the weight of it, tends to follow the same path. And lately, the world has been stirring those memories again. World events have a way of doing that. They bring old sounds back into the mind, old images, old questions, sometimes even old anger or old grief that we thought had settled somewhere deep enough to stay quiet. The writers of the Black Teacup understand that. Many of them have served overseas, and Bandit himself, the man behind much of this universe, carried a rifle in places where the nights were long and the days were uncertain. He was wounded twice overseas. He understands what it means when the mind refuses to stay quiet. He understands the restless thoughts, the moments when the room is calm, but your mind is not. He understands what it feels like to carry the memory of things that civilians will never quite understand, the weight of decisions made in seconds, the faces of people who didn't come home, the strange mixture of duty, pride, grief, and sometimes regret that follows a person long after the uniform is folded away. And he would tell you something very important tonight. He is not here to fix you. He is not here to offer slogans or simple answers. He is not here to pretend that the past can be neatly tied up and placed on a shelf somewhere. Some experiences don't work like that. Some things simply become part of the person who walked through them. Instead, he is trying to build something different, a universe, a quiet one, a place where people who carry heavy things can sit for a while and listen and remember. And maybe breathe a little easier knowing that they are not the only ones walking through the night with those memories. That is what Starlight Warrior was meant to be. Not a cure, not an escape, but a place to rest for a moment. A place where stories are told honestly, where strength is quiet, and where the cost of service is never ignored or hidden. Because the truth is, the cost is real. Those who have seen combat know that the battle does not always end when the deployment ends. Sometimes the mind continues the conversation long after the rifles are stacked and the aircraft brings everyone home. Sometimes a news headline, photograph, or even a certain smell or sound can open a door that was carefully closed years ago. And suddenly the memories are back. The heat of the desert, the tension of a convoy moving through unfamiliar streets, the strange silence that follows an explosion. Long nights when sleep refused to come because the mind was still somewhere else. For many veterans, the world today can feel like a reminder, not just of the war, but of the time of life when everything felt sharper, clearer, more dangerous, and more meaningful all at once. Some of you carry pride in what you did. Some of you carry grief for what was lost. Some of you carry questions that might never have answers. And some of you carry guilt, even when you followed every order and did your duty the best way you knew how. All of those things can exist in the same heart. That is something civilians rarely understand, but those who serve together know it immediately. So, if the world has been stirring those memories again, I want you to know something simple. You are not strange for feeling that weight. You are not weak for remembering. You are not alone in carrying those thoughts. There are thousands of others who hear the same echoes when the world begins talking about war again. Men and women who have tried to build quiet lives while still carrying a part of those distant places inside them. And sometimes the best thing a person can do is simply acknowledge that truth. The past happened, it shaped you, it cost something. But it also means you walked through something that required courage, endurance, and loyalty to the people beside you. And those qualities do not disappear just because the war is over. They remain part of who you are. So tonight, if you are sitting somewhere late with the news turned off, or the lights low, and the memories moving a little closer than usual, just know that this small corner of the world exists for you. The black teacup is simply a table where people who carry things can sit together for a while. No judgment, no speeches, just a quiet acknowledgement that some roads leave marks, and that those marks are part of the story of who we became. Bandit built this place with that understanding in mind, not to erase the past, but to give people somewhere to rest inside the present. So if you're a veteran listening tonight, and the weight feels a little heavier than usual, stay a while. Let the mind slow down, and remember that the strength that carried you through those years is still there, even when the memories return. You are still walking forward, and sometimes that is the bravest thing a person can do. Thank you for spending a little time here tonight. I'm Ivy, and this is the Black Teacup. We'll see you again soon.